Hello again, everyone. This is Kevin Richardson back again with another installment of a chapter a day to keep the devil at bay, where I'll read from one chapter of the Bible from 3 different versions each day: the King James Version, the New International Version, as well as the New Living Translation, so that we might be able to gain more from the readings, so that I can be able to increase in my knowledge of the Word, and so that maybe y'all can increase in your knowledge of the Word as a result as well. I hope to be able to save at least one person through my efforts in what I'm doing. I would love for as many people as possible to be able to hear the Word of God, and so I do this in the hopes that maybe someone can hear it from me. If not, then maybe they can hear it from someone else. I was encouraged to read at least one chapter of the Bible every day by Melanie Mack from Bible Time with Melanie Mack, and so I'm reading a chapter every day. And maybe you could be encouraged to read a chapter as well, or at least go check out her videos and maybe let her read to you instead. Because I know that I might not be the best at doing this, but yeah, she's quite nice to listen to. Yeah, enough about all that. On to chapter 11 in the King James Version of Genesis. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime they had for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, and they may not understand one another's speech. Or that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old, and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years, and begat Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Salah 403 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years, and begat Eber. And Salah lived after he begat Eber 403 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 430 years, and begat Peleg. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years, and begat Reu. And Peleg lived after he begat Reu 209 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Reu lived 230 years, and begat Serug. And Reu lived after he begat Serug 207 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years, and begat Nahor. And Serug lived after he begat Nahor 200 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 920 years, and begat Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years, and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. But Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. That's it for chapter 11 in the King James Version. Some of the ways that they phrase these things in the King James Version is still used in other languages, in their modern languages, like in Portuguese and Spanish and stuff like that. The way they set up their sentence structures, but like the way that we speak now in English compared with it is different. So, like, I'm guessing that's the reason why not everyone is able to identify so easily the difficulties that we English speakers might have with it. I don't know. It works alright for some people, like some languages, but like when it's translated into their language in the same types of sentence structures. But I don't know. It's tough for me. I know that much. Alright, now the New International Version, chapter 11 of Genesis, the Tower of Babel. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As men moved eastward, and they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone, and tar instead of mortar, and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city, with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may have a name for ourselves, and not be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the men were building. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language, so they will not understand each other." So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world, and from there the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth. I had to turn that music down in my ears. It was distracting me. I hope it's not too much of a distraction for you, the listeners. Yeah. From Shem to Abram. This is the account of Shem. 2 years after the flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he became the father of Arphaxad. And after he became the father of Arphaxad, Shem lived 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arphaxad had lived 35 years, he became the father of Shelah. And after he became the father of Shelah, Arphaxad lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah had lived 30 years, he became the father of Eber. And after he became the father of Eber, Shelah lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber had lived 34 years, he became the father of Peleg. And after he became the father of Peleg, Eber lived 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg had lived 30 years, he became the father of Reu. And after he became the father of Reu, Peleg lived 209 years and had other sons and daughters. When Reu had lived 32 years, he became the father of Serug. And after he became the father of Serug, Reu lived 207 years and had other sons and daughters. When Serug had lived 30 years, he became the father of Nahor, and after he became the father of Nahor, Serug lived 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor had lived 29 years, he became the father of Terah. And after he became the father of Terah, Nahor lived 119 years and had other sons and daughters. And after Terah had lived 70 years, he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. This is the account of Terah. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran became the father of Lot, while his father Terah was still alive. Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans, in the land of his birth. Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. She was the daughter of Haran, the father of both Milcah and Iscah. Now Sarai was barren; she had no children. Terah took his son Abram, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son Abram, and together they set out from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Terah lived 205 years, and he died in Haran. And that's it for chapter 11 of the New International Version in Genesis. Onward to chapter 11, the New Living Translation. Hold on just a second. Alright, so it finishes out on this one. And it reads as thus. The Tower of Babel. At one time, all the people of the world spoke the same language and used the same words. As the people migrated to the east, they found a plain in the land of Babylonia and settled there. They began saying to each other, "Let's make bricks and harden them with fire." In this region, bricks were used instead of stone, and tar was used for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let's build a great city for ourselves with a tower that reaches into the sky. This will make us famous and keep us from being scattered all over the world." But the Lord came down to look at the city and the tower the people were building. "Look," he said, "the people are united, and they all speak the same language. After this, nothing they set out to do will be impossible for them. Come, let's go down and confuse the people with different languages. Then they won't be able to understand each other." In that way, the Lord scattered them all over the world, and they stopped building the city. That is why the city was called Babel, because that is where the Lord confused the people with different languages. In this way, he scattered them all over the world. From Shem to Abram. This is the account of Shem's family. 2 years after the great flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he became the father of Arphaxad. After the birth of Arphaxad, Shem lived another 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arphaxad was 35 years old, he became the father of Shelah. After the birth of Shelah, Arphaxad lived another 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah was 30 years old, he became the father of Eber. After the birth of Eber, Shelah lived another 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber was 34 years old, he became the father of Peleg. After the birth of Peleg, Eber lived another 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg was 30 years old, he became the father of Reu. After the birth of Reu, Peleg lived another 209 years and had other sons and daughters. When Reu was 32 years old, he became the father of Serug. After the birth of Serug, Reu lived another 207 years and had other sons and daughters. When Serug was 30 years old, he became the father of Nahor. After the birth of Nahor, Serug lived another 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor was 29 years old, he became the father of Terah. After the birth of Terah, Nahor lived another 119 years and had other sons and daughters. When Terah was 70 years old, he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. The family of Terah. This is the account of Terah's family. Terah was the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. and Haran was the father of Lot. But Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans, the land of his birth, while his father Terah was still living. Meanwhile, Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. Milcah and her sister Iscah were daughters of Nahor's brother Haran, but Sarai was unable to become pregnant and had no children. One day Terah took his son Abram, his daughter-in-law Sarai, his son Abram's wife, and his grandson Lot, his son Haran's child, and moved away from Ur of the Chaldeans. He was headed for the land of Canaan, but they stopped at Haran and settled there. Terah lived for 205 years and died while still in Haran. And there you have it for chapter 11 of the New Living Translation in Genesis. As I said, it's a good chapter to point out the difference in the language structure and everything between the way that modern English is structured and this more archaic English that's in the King James Version, and a comparison between modern English and other languages such as like Spanish and Portuguese, and I'm guessing Italian and French are structured like that as well. I can only read them a little bit. I can't really speak them that good. I mean, I do all right with reading some of these other languages like Spanish and Portuguese. I do all right with, and French. But I'm working at it all the time. It can't hurt to learn new things. But I noticed that there's a similarity in the way that this older English is written and the way that those languages are still written to this day. So, I mean, there's always something new that you can be able to learn from different things. And that's the reason why it is that I'm reading this in 3 different versions so we can see the difference between them. And I suppose whenever I get done reading through all of these over the next 3 years, 3 months, that I might pick a few more versions. There's the NASB, the ESV, I don't know, there's a bunch of different versions of the Bible, so I can always keep doing this. Probably. I mean, I'm going to keep reading a chapter a day for the rest of my life, but I might continue to share with y'all my readings of the chapter a day if y'all are willing to watch the videos or whatever. I mean, if not, then I'll probably still continue to do them depending on what I have going on in my life at that time. I'll always make time for this part of my day to be able to take the time to read at least one chapter from one version each day. But I'm actually enjoying doing this. We're reading it from 3 different versions. Anyhow, if anyone has any prayer requests to be made, just make the prayer requests in the comment section. If you have any unspoken prayer requests, just say you have unspoken prayer requests and I'll pray for you. And anyone wants to add anything to this discussion, just leave a comment as well. Make sure you share this if you enjoyed it. Hit the like button, subscribe, whatever. Doesn't matter too much to me that you do. Just share it out. Maybe, just maybe, we could be able to reach somebody new, that we could be able to bring the word of God to them so that they might become Christians as well. Y'all have a great day. God bless you, and until next time.